that beyond the obvious things like the rigor that you need to put in and the discipline, what were other habits that were instrumental in helping you crack these things?
Got it. I would say the things that pop into my head. One is partly just the ambition. A lot of times what happens, Guru, is like, even if I look at my own IT classmates or people who were in my circle at that time. So let's say you're applying for an MBA program or applying for a job, whatever it is. There are a range of options. It's a free choice. You can choose to apply to top 2, you can choose to apply to top 1, you can choose to apply to top 100. There is no real benchmark. So essentially it's like self-selection. Do you believe that I belong here? Or do you believe that I belong somewhere else? And like I mentioned earlier, my thought was that if I'm doing something, I want to go for top tier. And sometimes people get deterred by the fact that it's hard. Yes, I'm not saying one should take crazy risks or do stupid things. That's not the point. But just knowing and believing that if somebody else has done it before you, then you too can. There has got to be a way. As long as the risk is should not be like 1 in billion or something, but as long as it's not that, I think it's worth taking. So that was one part of it. Second was this consistency, which is again, this is not the way I thought about it. It's more like a retrospective analysis of my actions of what I did. And a lot of it came from this goal-driven behavior. So as an example, when I was preparing for, let's say, the civil services, so now let's say when I cleared so 30th of April, I got done with my BTech was over. The exam was on I think, June 15th or something. And then the mains would be like in November, December. So not a lot of time. But nevertheless, for those 6 months, I'm pretty sure I was like on the ball. Like my attention would not have wavered for like half an hour. And that goal clarity and the willingness to be able to get up every day and push for something without knowing what the outcome is. Outcome, by the way, outcome is not certain. Maybe I got in. I couldn't have. Maybe I would have not succeeded. It's entirely possible. There's so much of luck. We think of it like, oh, it's not about smartness. You need some amount of smartness, of course, but it's not about IQ. It's not about prep. Also, it's about it's about all those things plus huge amount of luck. So there was never a certainty, but in my mind, it was, I don't know why, it was always clear that I'll make it. Maybe it was arrogance, maybe because I had seen a lot of people before me do it. And second thing was like showing up every day. The goal may be like 6 months away, 1 year away, 10 years away. That's not material. Material thing is like, and which I now realize a lot more when I think about those things consciously. What truly matters is what we are going to do like now, what will I do in next 2 hours? What will I do in next 4 hours? What will I do like this week? The present moment, the now and sort of the extension of now, the immediate like coming. This is where the action is. And one mistake which people might make, even when you're goal directed, sit and look at the goal. That's not helpful. The goal is there, but you have to keep moving, keep pushing, and you have to be able and willing to keep moving, keep pushing, even when the goal is just way far off. For me, it helped to be able to just. I had this impression what it would be like to be in an IIT. I'd never been to it. I'd never seen the campus, but and this was like pre-internet era, so I'd never seen even a picture. But I had just some vague idea. Of course, when I went, I was a little bit disappointed. That's a flip side of it. But having this thing that okay, every day your mind goes like, no, I want this, I want this, I want this. That gives you motivation from inside. I think seeking that motivation from inside was the primary thing. Outside external motivation, somebody says something, that motivation will go away like in 6 hours. Right now, you talk to a friend, they say, yes, let's do it. And that friend goes away, and after 2 days, it'll all be gone. But when it comes from inside, you can tap into it every day. And I believe that I was able to do that without understanding these things intellectually, which I do a little bit more right now. But I think just that consistency, not giving up, aiming high, and then just pushing hard. And this is no humility again, but I think luck truly matters. There's no question about it. What does happen, Guru, is there's obviously some little bit of survivorship bias, as you understand. I mean, if I hadn't made it, you would not be talking to me. So there's that aspect of it. Second thing is, also once you have one success, it makes things easier. I didn't learn a hell lot at IIT. I'll be very candid, and I do. If I do regret something, really, it's that's probably the only big thing I regret, not making good use of my time. But one thing is there. Once I went to an IIT, the advantage there was, you know that, okay, these guys are 300 odd guys around you. They are like supposedly the best in the country. And if you can stand against that competition, then you know that there is nothing else out there. This is it. This is the level. And that gives you confidence to push for anything else. So I think IIT may not have given me a lot of knowledge, but it certainly gave me that confidence that, okay, you know, this is the level. There's nothing above this. Right? Now it's up to you. You want to fight, you fight. So that's I think what really happened and why I was able to do certain things, and then I was not able to do certain things as well. But that's it.